sweetheart. That he was just...
It's like, I wanted to do this chapter about my dad, but it's just like I was like scheduling a cry session. Like I knew this was gonna happen. Welcome to I Love My Baby But I Miss My Dad. If I cry this easily, obviously I need to cry about it.
Is that a burp laugh?
Yeah, but it's gonna be for my tears. It's my hanky.
You want me to get you something?
No, I can use this. And then I can use the salt water on his skin. We have Sunny, he's being a little temperamental, so bear with us. So a lot of you guys asked me to do a chapter about my dad. So tough chapter to do, but I thought it was important to talk about. My dad was great. He was just the best dad. Like, I think we were all the typical daddy's little girls. And he not only was just such an amazing father, but he was silly. And he was always the coach, and he was strict when he needed to be, but easy and playful, and he was always home right after work. He was never the kind of dad where work took precedent. Family always came first for him, and we just always wanted to be around him, like more than our friends. We always wanted to be around our parents. I remember on Friday nights, my parents had a standing date night at the Cheesecake Factory, and when we were done with our friends at like 10 o'clock at night, they would drop us off to be with our parents at the Cheesecake Factory because we would rather be with them. My dad was just a really good guy. He was a lot like you in that he had a very clear sense of right and wrong, and he just always wanted to do right by everyone. And he always just became best friends so fast with everyone. He was just, yeah, universally well-liked, and like all my friends wanted him to be their dad. Like he was just, yeah, just the best. He died from kidney cancer in 2013, a day before my birthday. He had kidney cancer, stage 4 kidney cancer, for a year before he passed away. He was diagnosed just a year before he passed away. And he died at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. When you have such a big death in the family, it obviously colors a lot of big moments in your life. Especially, obviously, having Sunny and our wedding, which are two amazing moments, but it's hard when something so amazing and so meaningful to you to not instantly think about how sad it is that someone you love so much isn't here to join in that happiness. When we found out I was pregnant and when I went into labor and had the baby, like all those big moments were very bittersweet because I instantly thought about him, instantly wanted him to be there, wanted him to share in the excitement, but also to be there for me. I obviously had a tough pregnancy, and wanted him to be there to support me and also to be there with my mom to enjoy the baby. Whenever my mom is around or whenever she leaves the house, like, even though I'm so happy that she gets to enjoy him, I just think of how much more she would enjoy him and how much more, like, how much better it would be. Like, it's hard to not be sort of negative sometimes and think how much better it would be if he were here. There have been so many big things and little things that I've just needed him for. Like, my dad was my go-to for that, and now you're obviously my go-to, but he was my man, yeah. the first year after losing my dad, I went to Our House Grief Support Center where I met with other people who had lost parents, and that was a huge, huge help for me, just to be around people that were going through the similar thing as me. And since then, I don't know that I've done anything specific to cope. Like, I allow myself certain moments when I know like I need a good cry. I allow myself to have them. Grief definitely gets easier. I always say that the amount that it hits you lessens, but when it hits you, it's as painful. So at the beginning, I was like crying constantly and in pain constantly, and then it gradually, you know, happened less. I'm crying less now, but when I actually think about it, it's like as bad as if it just happened, you know? I think it's important to honor those you have lost. We named Sonny Sanford. Sanford was my dad's middle name. But one of the things that I haven't done that I really want to do is have more pictures of him around, so I can show him visually who my dad was and talk about him so he has a sense of who he is. I want to teach Sonny what kind of man he was, and in turn teach him to be like him. I hope that Sonny takes after my dad in so many different ways. I hope that he just has really good character. I hope that he's really silly and playful. I hope that he's warm and affectionate and makes people feel comfortable when they're around him. I hope he's as good as golf and as good of an athlete as him, for sure. I hope he's just a really nice person. I think, like what I said, like making people feel comfortable when you're around them is such an important quality. You've really like highlighted that for me. And I think that's so much of what I loved about my dad. He just was one of those guys that everybody felt like themselves around. And I hope that Sonny's like that too.
I feel really comfortable around Sonny.
I do too.
Right.
I like get naked around him.
Do you want to tell your dad if you were on the phone?
Here. I would want to tell him that I'm really happy and that I have a good life and our family has a good life, and that we obviously miss him terribly. And I would just ask him questions. What do you think I could be doing better? Are we being good parents? Is there a way we could help my mom better? Just how he thinks we've done this past 4.5 years without him.
How do you think we've done it?
I think that we've done the best that we can. I think we've done well. I think, look at, I mean, honey, it's okay. Something's bothering. Maybe he's teething. Okay, so I'd love to know how you guys have honored someone that you've lost. Write in the comments, direct message me, let me know what you've done, so we can make each other feel better and teach our babies about those people that we loved, that we love.
I think that's good. What do you think, Sonny?
You're okay now.
Oh my God. Hi.
Are you getting this?
Can you tilt him a little bit more?
Hi. He's into this now.
Into what?
This position. I shushed him to sleep right here yesterday like this. Bye.